Hi, Sandy Wiley. Today I want to talk about how to stay sane in an insane world. I know it's not very easy, especially in this crazy world where there's wars and prejudice and everyone is polarized and the politics are just crazy out there. It's like if you don't agree with someone 100%, then like you're their enemy or something. No one can agree to disagree. No one can have a different opinion. So, what I wanted to say is give you some advice on how to keep your sanity during all that, especially during COVID, where people had a social distance and they couldn't, they depended more on their devices like their phones and their computers than they did on real face-to-face contact. The first piece of advice I want to give you is choose wisely who you associate with. You are who your friends are. You are who the people who you hang out with the most are the people that are going to impact your life. So if you hang out with, whether they're family or friends or coworkers, if you hang out with a bunch of negative downers, then you're going to turn into it. Then it's going to impact you. You're going to feel very down and depressed. If you hang out with people who are more positive and who have kind words to say and who build you up, then that's how it's going to impact you that way. You're going to feel better about yourself being around people that bring you up instead of tear you down. So choose, even family, you can choose. You don't have to stay in a situation that's damaging to you just because that person is your husband, your wife, your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter. If someone is damaging you, if they're not building you up and they're tearing you down, or they're always complaining and negative, and they have a very adverse impact on your life, you can choose not to have that person in your life. That's a healthy choice. Just because someone is biologically related to you doesn't mean that you have to stay in that situation. Remember, the people that you surround yourself with that's who you become. It does. It's very hard to stay upbeat and positive if you're around people, whether they're family, friends, or coworkers, who are tearing you down, right? So if it's a job, get out of that situation. If it's a friend, ditch that friend. If it's a family member, get away from them, because you don't want to be around those type of people, because they will have a negative impact on you. And people can really make you feel like you're losing your sanity. I wrote a book about it. Remember, I had a video about a psychologist who made me feel like I was going to have a nervous breakdown. I was this close to having a nervous breakdown. And as soon as I left that psychologist, it's like that feeling instantly went away. It was that psychologist who made me feel like I was having a breakdown. I don't know what he did, but when I got away from him, oh boy, I felt 100% better. So that's how, vital it is to not be around people. And you will feel it in your gut. You'll have that feeling in your gut, every time I'm around this person, I'm anxious, or I'm stressed out, or I don't, I'm always feeling depressed afterwards or before, You want to be around people where you look forward to seeing them after you've been with them. You feel really good inside. You feel sunny, and you feel better than before. That's that's the type of people that you want to be around. So remember that. Be around, if you want to keep your sanity, you need to be around people that build you up, not tear you down. Okay? Number 2, in order to keep your sanity in this crazy world, you've got to be yourself. Okay? Everyone else is taken. You've got to be yourself. No matter what that is. And some people feel like they have to conform to fit in. No. No, you don't. I'm telling you right now, I don't conform to anyone. And you guys know that from watching my videos, right? I do not conform. But it took me a very long time. It took me to be in my 50s to realize that I am not going to conform anymore. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be true to myself. I'm not going to conform to anyone. You cannot keep your sanity if you're trying to be what you are not. Okay? This eventually your real self will come out. And if you're in relationships and people don't know you because you're trying to conform to their standards, eventually that will come out, and then it'll explode. And you will suffer damage. I knew this man I knew a couple of men like this, that in my day, to be gay was like frowned upon. Okay. So I've known men that got married, had children, and pretended to be heterosexual when they weren't. They were gay. And they kept this facade up for years and years and years, and they hurt everyone, all right? Especially themselves. They hurt themselves, they hurt their children, they hurt their wives, because the wives didn't know until later, and it all came out eventually, because no one can keep the facade up. You've got to be yourself, whatever that is, whatever that is. You've got to be true to yourself. If you try to fit in, it won't work. It won't work. You'll feel, it'll destroy you. It'll destroy you, right? You've got to. It's like it's like the caterpillar in the cocoon, right? It emerges into the butterfly. It can't stay that caterpillar ensconced in that cocoon, and that's what happens. When you try to, when you can't break free of who you really are, right? You're really a butterfly. You need to break free of the cocoon. You can't stay trapped in that like this, tightly squeezed and squished, trying to be, stay a caterpillar. Everyone changes, and you have to go along and accept people's changes and who they are and who they're telling you they are. And that goes especially true for yourself. You have to accept who you are, and maybe, that goes against society's norms. Maybe you're not, a person who wants to get married, or maybe you're a woman in a man's body, or maybe you're a man in a woman's body. Whatever you are, you have to accept who you are and not fight it. Otherwise, you'll go crazy. It does make you crazy because, society's telling you be this, and you're saying, I'm not that, I'm not that. I'm who I am. So you just don't fight who you are, okay? If you want to keep your sanity, you must be true to yourself. You can't be true to anyone else unless you're true to you. Number 1, you have to take care of yourself. So that, and who you are and what you're supposed to do with your life. No one can tell you, what to do with your life. People will they'll say, why aren't you married? Or, look at how old you are. You're not married, or you don't have children, or why don't you have a house? Or, Why don't you this or why don't you that? How they ask those, probing questions that's none of their friggin' business. That's what people do. It's none of their business. It's your life, it's your business. You live it the way you want to live it and be who you're meant to be. No one can tell you, you're supposed to believe in this politician or that politician or supposed to have this political view or that one or, whatever you are. If you have to be true to yourself, okay? And you have to accept people who if you love someone, you accept them for who they are, right? So that's very important. Be around the people that build you up, not tear you down, and be yourself, okay? Be true to who you are. So another thing to keep your sanity in this crazy, crazy world, I believe we're all here to create. I'm an artist, so I create. Creating is just so beautiful. You don't have to be like a painter or a poet to create. Create something beautiful every day, I just think that that really, builds you up. It makes you feel good that you did this, you created this. I mean, I love doing videos. I love writing poetry. I've written many books. If creating isn't just like you can bake a cake and you've created something, right? It doesn't have to be like you don't have to think of yourself as an artist to create something, right? You can do many things. You can create many things, and I just think that like your hands were into it to make something beautiful, whatever that something is. Your hands were involved into doing it, and I think that's a creative outlet is very important for all of us. So create and stay away from like the news. The news will make you insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really is. It's just nuts. And social media too. I think more people need to stay away from that because people are reading about other people posting and it's bringing them down. It's making them feel like they're inferior. When you see someone posting about, their family, their love lives, their vacations, their, new homes, their careers, etc., etc. You get my point. And like you hold that up against yourself. So you're comparing. And that's what's, messing up your mind because you're comparing all these things you're seeing on social media. And look at most people on social media. It's just a facade, okay? It's a facade. People are going on there, putting all this stuff down, showing you their life like on in Hawaii on the beach, in the sand, and you think, wow, look at my life. I don't go on a vacation and I can barely make ends meet and this, but it's a facade. You don't know how those people's lives really are. If you look deeper into it, you would find out those people are very miserable. They're not happy at all. That all the things they're posting aren't real. And it can drive you crazy because you make the comparison of yourself, to these people. And most people that post their life all over social media are very unhappy. They're giving you that image that their life is just, wonderful. Like I said, it's an image. Because most people who are very happy with their lives aren't on social media like that. They're too busy living their happy life to be posting constantly, right? They might post something, right? They might put a couple of pictures up, but the ones that are constantly bombarding social media, they're not happy because happy people don't do that. They're too busy with their own lives, living it, to be bothered, to have time to be putting it all over social media. I think the people who do that are trying to prove something. They're trying to prove a point. And then the rest of us are holding ourselves against that. And it brings us down, you know. It makes us feel bad that, oh, we don't have that. So stop those comparisons. Don't watch the news. It's depressing. Don't go on social media, you know, a certain amount. Don't spend your life on social media. Just go on it for a certain amount of time and then get off of it and start living your life, your true life. Live your true life. Be yourself, okay? Don't let this world drag you down, all right? Find a creative outlet for yourself, whatever that is. Everyone is a unique, creative individual. Everyone creates. Whether it's, you know, a little 3 or 4-year-old building something out of Legos, right? They created something, they built, or blocks. They created whatever they made it with their hands and their imagination, and they created it, okay? It's as simple as that. I'm not, you know, telling you to go out and take a painting course or, you know, a drawing course or anything like that. I'm just saying, if you made something, you feel good about that. That makes you feel good that you created that. So I hope I've helped you a little bit today. Surround yourself with people that, you know, are your people, your tribe, that will only support you. And be yourself, whatever that is, you know, whoever you are, be true to it. Be true to your calling. Follow your path. Even if you think that's, you know, many people aren't walking that same path. You'd be surprised how many people really only wish they had the courage to do that. Do that. Be you. Be true to you. Okay? And I think you'll be a lot happier with yourself if you are. And you won't feel so, you know, especially surrounding yourself with the right people too. You won't feel so, because I know when I'm around people that are not right for me, it does make me feel crazy. It gives me anxiety attacks, very bad panic attacks. That's how I know that I got to be away from that person. That's how I know, because I'll have severe crippling anxiety attacks. I've had other videos talking about my panic attacks, but if people give me panic attacks, you know, or situations give me panic attacks, I know that's not for me. That person or people or groups of people are not for me. Or that activity, or that job, I've had jobs like that too. That job is not for me because I'm getting panicky, you know. Only when I feel at peace, you know, and calm with people. Those are my people. Or that's my calling, right? I feel peace and calm. Not something that makes me, you know, anxious or, you know, getting panic attacks. That's not my path. That's not where I belong. So listen to your body. Listen to your gut, because if you listen to your gut, your inner voice, it will never steer you wrong, okay? You know when you're in the right situation, doing the right thing by yourself with the right people, you're going to only feel good. Okay, take care till next time.